all doing well. I really do. Really hope you're doing well. Turn the chat on. Burning Man cannibalism. It's always a interesting topic. The thousands of different times we covered this over the decade or so. It's always happening. Always going on. These cannibals at Burning Man, chewing people up. We'll cover that. The nonsense, right? They like to package these lies, these conspiracy theories, actual like credible shit that people are asking questions about. Be like, oh, you must be one of those cannibal people. Yeah, I'm a cannibal. Not content was claiming that. What's up, Jay Krieg? Good to see you. Not content was claiming that the Burning Man Festival in Nevada has been declared a national disaster, which pretty strange in and of itself, and subject to an Ebola outbreak, a conspiracy theory, the media would add, but didn't. Social media users are now making wild accusations of attendees eating each other. Why would they say these things? Who says these things? What's happening here? I would hope people aren't. I mean, like, it's like 2 days, 3 days in, like, they're finishing off their snack packs and their Rice Krispie treats. And they look over to their buddy and they're like, man, you remember those cartoons where like they turn into a turkey? Is that happening already? Too much acid. That's the problem with the festivals. I don't know what's behind it. I'm sure I won't get a shred of truth. They're probably inundating like fake little plant people everywhere to give their account of what they witnessed and nonsense. And it's all going to be like some big. Remember, like the birds weren't real, how they were trying to pull that one out. Like they were literally trying to pull that one off. But then people were like, just that's just fucking ridiculous. And then they had to be like, it was a joke. We were trying to see how many conspiracy theories. Like, okay. It's kind of the feeling I'm getting with like these cannibals at what I don't know though. I don't know the type of people that go to Burning Man. I have an idea. I might be one of them. I mean, I wouldn't mind to go. So, one person has died and stranded in the Black Rock Desert. Fantastic name to the north of Reno after storm flooding hit the usual arid region. Yeah, strange that happened at that time. It's climate change, of course. Festival goers have been urged to shelter in place. Instead of like, hey guys, get the fuck out. This is probably not a good place for you. There's no, like shit's just falling out of the sky. A lot of rain. We never experienced rain. Seems a little unusual. You should probably go. No, stay here. Eat up all your rations and start chewing on people. That's always the better. If you had to weigh those decisions, obviously one is the more realistic. And that's why we have articles like this. Parrish County Sheriff's Office said that some vehicles have been able to leave, but in doing so, they churned up some mud. Sheriff. Stay in, guys, shelter in place. This vehicle stirred up some mud. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? This shit just blows my mind. The fact, like, what are they getting at? Clearly, this is ultimately going to result in some type of psyop, but what type of psyop? I doubt this is the zombie apocalypse where there's a bunch of cannibals running around eating brains and shit. I think it's going to be more like they kind of just inched in the fact that somebody died under very mysterious circumstances. Kind of like they had like an Ebola-like disease, right? The conspiracy theorists, conspiracy theory. And but at the same time, they also said, like, as they're laughing about how ridiculous that is, they're saying, but this is probably going to be the main reason that this new variant, like, what? The only people that I've even heard of catching COVID are Jill Biden, the lead singer of Metallica, and wait, I have the other one up as well. Like, just famous people. And that's what they did in the last one. That's when they did in like all the way back to the beginning. It's been that way. We know we should get sick because all the celebrities and influencers are getting sick. What's up, Retribution? Good to see you. I don't know if I said what's up, Kutz. I feel like I always say what's up, Kutz. but just in case. So we need to start getting sick. Well, luckily flu season's just around the corner, so we should be all right. The festival's organizers urged those remaining to stay on site until conditions improved. Some like sunny skies, like shit's drying up. There was that one vehicle though, kicked up some mud. Can't have that shit. Be safe. Local officials said on Sunday that the death occurred during the rain event, in quotes, whatever that means, and was still under investigation, also in quotes. I'm okay, quoting this guy pretty seriously, I guess. The local police force did not release the identity of the deceased or any further information about the death, but said their family had been notified. And there was also this picture, which I would imagine that's probably something you would see if you're geoengineering the area. I mean, this is something that is naturally occurring, but I'm sure the chances of like extra normal type events dealing with weather phenomena dramatically increases when using geoengineering. That's a theory. And there's probably multiple people that would be behind that. So I guess that's a conspiracy theory. And I'll admit when I'm doing that. But that's not what we normally do. We normally go for the truth. We'll leave it up to the media to tell us when we're lying or not. I've been dropping shit all day. All right, let's skip. Moving on. The Burning Man fiasco. I can't wait to read this article. I was saving this for us because I wanted to read it, but then I was like, yeah, we'll read it together. The Burning Man fiasco was the ultimate tech culture clash. Do tell. Climate change, protests, tech, elitism, Ebola rumors, everything converged when heavy rains left thousands of people stranded in the Nevada desert. Or another way to put it would be when your government used cutting-edge technology to make sure that people were stranded in the Nevada desert. Thanks for not allowing me to read this article, Wired, just in time for me to read it. Appreciate that one. We can move on to Insider. I went to Burning Man, the celebrities who fled. It's funny that they were able to get, it kind of sounds like Maui a little bit, doesn't it? Or like 9/11 when people like got these calls straight like, hey, get to the fucking airport. All the people that shouldn't have died. You're on it more than I am. Did you cuts? Did the censorship? Where was that one?
In the back.
That would have been all. That's all I would have needed.
What one do you prefer?
That one.
This one.
Yeah. The censorship is just getting out of control. It really is. Mitz, what up, brother? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Good to see you, though. Man, this shit's getting crazy to me. Like, this Burning Man, like, I first kind of brushed over it, even though it was weird, like, the whole blockade and everything, starting up to, like, really drawing people's attention to the fact that Burning Man was even going on this year. And then, all of a sudden, we have all this crazy shit going on. Much similar to the things we've seen in Maui, minus 2,000 missing children and wildfires. But the same type, you get what I'm saying? It's like this, it feels like there's somebody behind the controls messing with very powerful natural systems to achieve an objective. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm paranoid. It wouldn't be the first time. Definitely won't be the last. We are in the end times as far as I'm concerned. Oh, happy couple. I almost didn't go to Burning Man this year. making the decision to pack up my stuff and join my camp with just weeks to go. It was my 5th time returning to the Nevada desert where I camped alongside the same camp I had gone with before. Being on the leadership team, I arrived on Friday, August 25th, to help with the build. On Friday, September 1st, the bad weather took hold. Winds and pouring rain engulfed the campsite, leaving us trekking through the mud. Plastic bags taped around our ankles to protect our shoes. We hunkered down and continued the party. Being with burners who had been to the event 10, 15, even 20 times, really calmed panicked nerves in our camp. And surely so. If you guys ever been to these types, not necessarily Burning Man, but like that type of event, if you get what I'm saying, those types of people are going to try to, like, hey, man, be cool, right? Peace, love. Once the rain ceased, and it did cease, which is something that's an important fact, we went into crisis management mode, stockpiling all of our food and water and making the best of the muddy conditions. It wasn't easy, nor was it pleasant, but we stuck it out, and that made it the best experience I've had yet. Well, congrats. I mean, it looks like a shitty situation, but people were getting messages from friends who said they were walking out or were just leaving out or were driving out, even though, like, there were strict orders to stay in place. The community of the ultra-rich that now frequents Burning Man had the means to simply call a helicopter to get out of the mess. I think we all feel it is not the spirit of the event. You're bailing, and you're also now probably doing a very good effort with Strike and probably leaving a ton of your crap behind. It's back with that climate stuff. But I agree, pick your shit up. The way the different classes each handled the chaotic scenario highlighted what is wrong with Burning Man. Is that what we're talking about here? What is wrong with Burning Man? Or maybe this could be a deeper analogy, a metaphor, if you will, into something deeper. It felt to me like it really highlighted one of the big imperfections in the burn in society, maybe one of the big sort of contradictions, which is that there are these camps where people are provided with everything, and it's much more like you're a customer to an experience. Of course, that's what's seen on social media because that's who posts all the time and who gets attention. But it's a real misconception. When you go, the majority of the people are crusty old burners, and it's not like everyone who you see is looking amazing in an RV, blah, 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 blah. This shit is boring. I want to get to the good stuff. Or did we already pass it, I guess? Maybe that's it. The difference between the happening at Burning Man versus a festival like Coachella. No, sounds burning. What's going on? Yeah, I said that. I said burning. All right, we're going to skip it, man. I thought there would be like some other, like they really led heavy on that one. They're like, we're going to give you all the good shit up top. I suppose that's a probably smart idea, considering most people don't ever read the second paragraph if they get past the title. But something is up with this. I don't know what yet, but the COVID, let's look it up, right? Let's type it in. Let's see what happens. COVID Burning Man. Even though we're using Google right now, which I don't advise. I highly advise against. But we're here, so. Did I type in burning nose? COVID burning? Oh my God, God knows the type of shit I'm going to get. Good thing I didn't click images. I'm pretty sure I was like going for the man. Jump to news. No, it's just about Joe Biden having COVID. Maybe we should pay attention to Joe. He's a very important person. I got more stuff, guys. I also got my new channel up. I got my first video out. So stop by. I'm not going to leave the link for the feds. If they follow my channel, I'm going to make them work for it. But unfortunately, that means you guys got to work for it too. So if you care enough about the truth and information in this channel and what we have as a community, you'll probably find it as well. Yeah, Shulamite, they sure do. Well, yeah, in a way. The land itself is black rock. There's actually portions of black stone, which is always weird. I like black stone, black rock, and they both own a shitload of property. I'm pretty sure they're like, it's just, if you think about it, maybe I'm drawing unnecessary what's similarities. I couldn't think of the word for the life of me. Maybe just because black stone, black rock, but the fact that they're both in real estate, especially, and they're both buying up massive amounts of property in places and jacking up the rent and kicking people out of their homes, essentially not signing the second-year lease or third-year, whatever the case may be. It's what we're seeing in Maui. Maui's a perfect example. Ukraine is a perfect example as well. A lot of people don't know what's going on in Ukraine. BlackRock owns Ukraine, period. They own Ukraine. Neo-Nazis are running the military and ripping anybody that's of age that could possibly fight back out of their homes and sending them to the front lines against Russia to get slaughtered. Therefore, all of the people will no longer be there to resist what's coming, which is this future. I wish I would have recorded. If anybody can find it, please send it to me because I constantly look for it. It's this commercial. It's an advertisement, essentially, of the future Ukraine. It's like Ukraine 2025 or something along those lines. And it's about this future super digital system, just like what they're doing in Maui with these 15-minute cities and the smart cities and getting rid of the fossil fuels and this new e-wave and all that shit. Like, it's not, I didn't spend all that time making all those videos talking about this very thing happening eventually for when it to happen, for me not to focus on it and say, hey, this shit's happening. But sometimes I wonder why. Like, why do I bother, right? Like, you guys clearly know the deal. And I can't gain a subscriber. It seems impossible at this point. No matter, I mean, I would encourage you guys to share the video, get it out there, do what you can, let's grow it, blah, blah, like I always say. But, I mean, like, I've been doing that for a long time, and the results kind of speak for themselves. So, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing and expecting different results. Yes, you are, Shulamite, and I very much appreciate you being here. So thank you. We did somehow manage to break that barrier and gain not one, but 2 new subscribers. So whoever was the person, because how did you find it actually? Let me ask you before I just assume things. How did you find this channel? Shulu? Just random? What's that mean? It was just like a random video. I was actually a part of your feed, is what you're saying? What, just surfing Perdition Media? Because you're not gonna like this isn't just a channel you stumble across usually. So, do you remember what you were searching for? That way, I would love to know, because then I could be like, hey guys, like, everybody's having trouble finding this. Just YouTube videos. Yeah, that, I'm up there. So what is Burning Man? No, I'm happy you did. I'm happy you did. Because you're like the first in 6 channels that were able to do that. So, and I'm not like, I'm just saying it's hard. Like most people have to scroll for a while, and it does come up. I'm hoping they lift the shadow ban, and that would be great. Like I actually hope that people do start seeing these thumbnails in their feed more often. Like I have more than one channel, obviously, so I'll post a video, I'll jump off that name, I'll go on and look like I'll be subscribed to my other channel, and I'll go into my subscriptions and scroll through, and I still won't even see my own video in my subscriptions sometimes. Not always, sometimes. It's ridiculous. And I ask people like to share, and I know you guys do. Well, I don't know that. I know some of you do actually, but I don't know how to get past this. Like these are serious thoughts. Like I sit here and thinking like, well, I just tried uploading on Rumble, so my new channel, my other new channel that I've been talking about a little bit here and there. I posted my first video over on it today. And we'll see how that does. It's got different connections as far as like what I would think they would look for first as shadow banning is concerned, but I doubt it'll pass. I'm sure it'll go through the same type of BS. Freedom of speech, we are being, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But I think about like, what are my options other than that? Do I try to do the soapbox on the corner? Because it's not in me to shut up. I'm always going to be after the truth, and I'm always going to be trying to expose people that are trying to hide it. That's a part of me that will always be there. And I'm honestly starting to wonder, like, is this even remotely possible on here? Like, what does it take to get through this? It's us versus that system. And if we can't prove that it's possible, we might as well hang it up on you, right? Because if you can't break through, what is the point? It's an echo chamber. And those never work out to the benefit of anyone. I'm all ears. If anybody has ideas or suggestions or anything, I'm willing to consider anything. Because, like I said, I was trying to upload on Rumble earlier. I already told you guys how this worked. It doesn't work for me. I can't upload on BitChute. It does not matter. It's not the device. It's not. I'm not stupid. I know what I'm doing. It just doesn't work. It'd be a different reason every time, maybe. Usually the same reason. Usually I get to like 94% of loading, and then it'll be like, "Oh, sorry." But other times it's just like, "No, sorry, you don't even exist." It's like, I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of not the point of my new channel, but it's I'm not gonna I'm going to be very, very careful about approaching ideas. And I want to do that anyway. I think that's a fair way to approach anything. Leave my biases and what I already think and literally just talk about the facts on both ends, right? Like if whatever the main, and we know they lie, we know the deal, we see like right through it, but if I'm going to be fair about anything, I should approach both with equal amount of time analyzing the facts, and arriving at whatever has the most evidence to support it. Otherwise, what else do we have? Just listening to somebody that has more followers, is influence? What dictates truth in this age? I think it's an important question. At least it's important to me. And it's getting more and more difficult to even try to solve it. I mean, especially like things are subjective. There's different interpretations of certain facts, and I get that. But on top of that, we're also facing a never before seen push of propaganda where every single mainstream media site is in lockstep, other than the one or two design channels to oppose it, to be the outcast, to end up being labeled far right extremists, which are people that believe in freedom and in patriotism, nationalism, things that have to be squashed and killed, just completely annihilated, moving into a borderless global governing system. And we're heading there very, very quick. I think much faster than anybody really realizes. Especially when you think about like the advances in AI and nanotechnology and what that ultimately means and how desperately they want to vaccinate all of us over and over and release countless variants. And I know there's people that are like, well, it's just all BS. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's not. I do my due diligence. I do my research. I know that, like, and not even that. I firsthand, like, and many of you do too. If you take the time, you'll know damn well viruses exist. Call them what you will, but there's things that have genomic sequence after genomic sequence that make up an organism, a very small one, that can attach to the nucleus of a cell, inject its DNA to be replicated and reproduce more of itself. Now you can add certain things and cut and paste and make it whatever you want it to produce, different proteins. And I believe that's the new biowarfare. Biowarfare that we don't even know it's taking place at all. Because the goal at first isn't to kill everybody. Eventually it is. But first you want to make sure you can control every single person. And then once you can monitor and surveil and control everyone, and you know who's stepping out of line, and then you know who you have to discard. But we're not at that stage yet. Much comes before that. The mark of the beast, that beast system, which we are right there. The CBDC is like on it, and unfortunately, it's going to be passed. The CBDC is going to be a thing, and we let it happen. Us human beings are allowing, and some of us begging for, the very thing that will enslave us all. It's hard to fathom some of this stuff for me sometimes. What is Burning Man? Whoopi Goldberg has COVID. You probably should know that. Might help you out in your day tomorrow. Make that press operator run a little bit more smooth because Whoopi Goldberg has COVID. Oh, we get to watch. We never get to watch. They don't let us watch. Do we get to watch? We get to watch. Oh, please tell me it's The View. What was this? Whoopi Goldberg, it's The View. I love The View. Oh my God, I love The View.
Yeah, we're good. Hi.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, just cutting my hands.
Save on Samsung refrigerators during the appliances Labor Day sale at Best Buy.
Sure did, Shulamite. That's it. I don't get to hear them, man. I'm not watching The View if I just gotta stare at them. I want to hear their wonderful wisdom nuggets. The Oscar-winning ghost actress. How long ago was that? What has she been? She wasn't even good in that. She pretended to have a ghost in her, which is, how hard is that? Like, okay, now I gotta dance like this? Anyway, these are like the most washed up hacks that they could throw at us. That's my opinion. I think all of them are, man. When I see anybody that they bring, the people that sell their souls to do this shit, like, they don't care about anything but the fame and the fortune. Man, like, when I think I got it bad, when I think like shit's like, I'm like, man, life can really throw shit at you. I'm glad I am not these people. Like, that lifts my spirits. Knowing that I'm a real person, knowing that I have integrity, knowing that I just won't throw what it means to be me to the wind, knowing that I stand for something, knowing that shit means stuff, knowing that freedom is important and that we should do everything we can to protect it, as opposed to be the people that are constantly telling you, because they get a paycheck to do so, because they follow orders. It's sick. You don't, hashtag never forget, right? Like, all that COVID shit that went on, it was disgusting. We're not done yet. We've got another season coming. Stay tuned. You thought they're always going to increase it. Got to have a little bit more of a dramatic effect each and every time. And it's unbelievable too. Like, I was hoping they were going to switch the script, keep me on my toes. Like, oh my God, I was wrong about this, guys. I'm sorry, but this is they pivoted to this. But no, they're just as predictable as you would think that they are. I almost think that's like a part of it. It's almost like they don't have the creative instinct in them, and they have to feed and suck off of like actual human beings to be anything. They're parasites. That's why I say parasitic politicians, because you have to be a certain type of to be a politician. You gotta be able to look somebody straight in their face and say, no, we'll take care of your family, man. This new bill, we're gonna get this done while you're getting paid off by that corporation, and make sure that it never happens. That's all of Washington. That's all it is. You know, I mean, look at Nancy Pelosi just raking in bank, multi-millionaire, off of inside trading, and what the fuck happens? Nothing. And these jokes of presidents, I don't care if it's Biden or Trump, they're going to keep pitting the masses against each other, doing everything they can to just feed the flames. Oh, Trump's mugshot. Oh, it backfired. The fuck it did, dumbass. Wake up. I don't know how, but it's working. They're going to keep doing it. And there's people like myself that had we had an opportunity to reach more people, that we actually had the skills necessary to actually shake them awake. We were granted with a gift, but we're being suppressed, we're being shadow banned, and our voice will never reach them. Unless you change that, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I appreciate you being here. Much love. Peace.